Hi, I'm Freak Boy, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. First, some pretty colors again. Second, I'm already running my first interval at threshold. I didn't record earlier because it was too dark when I started. Today's session, after my 4-kilometer marathon pace section that I just finished, I now have 10 by 800 with 90-second rest periods. It already feels pretty hard. Okay, I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, I had to get through that first rep. Everything went well. It already feels like I'm pushing hard, but it's supposed to be hard. 4 kilometers at marathon pace were very steady. I kept my heart rate right at the top of zone 2 and kept my pace. It feels slow, but it feels slow and fast at the same time. It seems slow, is what I should say, but it felt fast. 8:15 to 8:20 per mile. It seems like a long way to go for me to run 7:40 per mile as a marathon pace, but we shall see. Okay, let's take a proper rest here. I'm halfway done. It's tough, but it's doable. Here comes the sun. Oh, yeah, doable. Get my heart rate up into very top of zone 3, very bottom of zone 4 regularly. And so far, keeping the same pace to do it. So I haven't started slowing down yet. The breaks I'm taking are just a little bit longer. 2 minutes instead of 90 seconds to give me enough time to get my heart rate all the way down into zone 1 before I go again. I'll come back in a few. Last one. Oh, sorry, getting my fingers in the way. Oh, this one was hard. Oh, but I made it. My fastest one. The extra 30 seconds during the rest period definitely helped. I got my heart rate down to zone 1 every time. I kept the paces even for every interval to the last one where I sped up. I'll need to check, but I think they were within like a 5-second range maybe. So I'm really happy with that. This is a tough session, but I really like it. It really hurts towards the end, but those 800 meter intervals are so much easier to tolerate than the 1 kilometer, or I think, didn't I have 2 kilometer at one point? Oh, I can't remember. Everything's blurring into each other right now. Oh. I'm wearing my Nike Vaporfly Next Percents. These are still in pretty good shape. They only have about 150 miles on them. I guess over 160 now. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna need to take a proper break here. I think I'll probably just pick you guys back up on Threshold, or sorry, on Tempo Thursday. Adios. It is Tempo Thursday. I'm just on a easy paced 1 kilometer that comes in between 2 5-kilometer tempo stretches. Oh, I remember the last time I did this, I thought it was going to be easier than it was. Same experience. I think I was underestimating coming in. I don't know why these tempo sessions feel as hard to me as the threshold sessions. Maybe they're supposed to. I don't know for sure. But I'm hurting. Good morning. Good morning. Here we go. So I get to do this for 1 kilometer, and then I gotta do 5 more kilometers like that. Whew. Looking forward to being done. I won't be pulling the camera out in the middle of that. See ya at the end. Yikes. Oh. That was tough. Funny thing was, that very 10th kilometer, I suddenly, I don't know if it was psychological or what, but I suddenly just felt like I was locked in and comfortable. All the rest of them felt pretty uncomfortable. And then that last one felt hard but comfortable. I don't know. But the whole thing was rather difficult. I did slow down, particularly on the last 3 kilometers. I think 8 and 9 were, I don't know, like mile pace, maybe 15 seconds, maybe not quite, 12 seconds per mile slower. And again, strangely, I seem to also speed up a little bit on the 10th one. Very bizarre. It's good to know, though, you know, that you can get through painful periods, and that's the way races go. You have your highs and your lows, and you tough it out through the lows, and sometimes you can end up back on a high, a lot of times back on a high. So yeah, that's just kind of good mental reinforcement for that idea. Anyways, I just want to relax and listen to some music for the rest of my 2-mile cool down walk home here. So I'll pick you guys up Long Run Sunday. Cheers. Just started the Sunday long run Today, it's gonna be 20 miles. I've got 4-kilometer hot spots that are planned for 3 of them as per the design of the run. Since I'm doing a couple of extra miles at the end, as I've done the last couple of weeks, I will add at least a partial hotspot at the end, as long as I'm feeling good. Getting a slightly late start today. It's almost 7 a.m. But I'm thinking I may not have to pay as big of a price for that this week, because it's slightly cooler than it has been. It's around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, like maybe 24 degrees Celsius. We're right at the coolest point right now, so it's only going to get warmer, but that's noticeably better than it has been. So, okay, my arm's getting sore, which means you're going back in my pocket. Cheers. Pretty much done. Just doing one final easy mile. Doesn't feel that easy, but comparatively, it is my 20th mile. I did do the additional 5K. I guess all of which was done at marathon pace as a hotspot. I need to do some calculations to see how many calories, I can't speak, how many kilometers that was. Might have even been 6. A little bit too, I shouldn't say too much, a little bit more than I expected. But I was tired, but I felt strong enough. And I was at the end anyways. So I said, screw it, I'm doing it. I've got almost 2 weeks now until that 35K long run. So I've got some time to recover. Okay, let's come back while I'm walking, and I'll have had a chance to look at some data on my phone. Well, for 3 weeks in a row, I got this special treat. Always right at the end of my session, when I can appreciate it, which is nice. Oh, bravo. I love that guy. Okay, so had a chance to look at my phone, think about my session a little bit. Yeah, you know, I started out this training cycle pretty unsure of myself, coming off, kind of a long injury break there to let my left hamstring and glute come back into shape, and then I immediately got hit with the summer heat. So, good morning. Yeah, so it was a little bit, oh, look how cute.
They're being lazy. I'm like, why are we walking so slow?
I filmed you guys.
Okay. Gotta pick up your pace. Come on.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a bit of a rough start, but it's just been a slow and steady build, and you know, I guess that's good. Just bit by bit, small confidence boost by small confidence boost. And you know, I'm not there yet, but today was another one of those confidence boosters. It didn't hurt that the weather cooled off by about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So that was welcome, to be sure. And these bad boys performed pretty well. Those are the Nike Vaporfly Next Percents, retired. They got about 100 and I guess over 180 miles on them now, so they're a bit long in the tooth, but they still seem to be performing pretty well, and they're light. That's the important thing. Man, I was really happy with my consistency on those hot spots. For starters, you know, as I mentioned already, I did add the additional hot spots at the end. It turned out to be, looks like about 4.5 kilometers. So, I mean, I'll just count it as an extra 4 kilometer hot spot. And those first 13 of the 16 hotspot kilometers were tight. They were all within a 4.5 second range from, like, I guess 4.6 seconds, from 456.6 to 501.2. I'll take that. That, you know, that kind of consistency is just excellent. And that includes how many hill climbs did I do? I did, I think, 3 hill climbs. That might be wrong. Maybe only 2 hill climbs while doing hotspots. A total of 5 big hill climbs, and then 1 final smaller hill climb on that very last cool down section. But yeah, I know that consistency was great, and then I didn't slow down for those last 3 of the 16 hotspot kilometers. I decided, hey, simulate the end of the race, push, finish strong. So I pushed and I sped up. The last one may have been my fastest. I don't know for sure. It's harder to tell on those because my watch is programmed to do kilometers for all the first 12 kilometers of hotspot. I guess the first 13 hotspot kilometers were all programmed into my watch. But then by the time I got to those bonus 3 miles that I just decided to add on, my watch reverted to doing mile laps. So, but those were actually quite close to, for real, marathon pace. So that's another thing that adds to the confidence building is, yeah, it's warm and I'm not quite able to sustain that marathon pace, but I was still able at the end to push up and do a few at the actual marathon pace. Mind you, my heart rate it wasn't super high, but it was at the top of zone 3 already by the time I finished those. So I was getting pretty tired by then. So all in all, yeah, I really have to view that as a really successful session. Yeah, it went about as good as I could have hoped for, considering these conditions. And I've also got a light at the end of the tunnel here too, because it's now going into the 4th week of August here. Actually in the 4th week of August, so there's still some heat left, but I can see those cooler temperatures and felt them slightly this morning, and I can see them coming, so that will be very welcome. It'll be a bit late. By the end of September I'll be in my taper, but nonetheless, I'm looking forward to some cooler weather come fall, and praying for some cool weather in Chicago and some really good running conditions. Let's hope. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it there. My arm is getting very sore from holding it in this position, so it's time to go. As always, do all the things: like below, subscribe below, comment below, share with your friends, do it all. And until next time on Freak Boy Runs, embrace the misery. Freak Boy out.